Oh, oh, hello. How are you? I didn't see you there. So, I guess you got me in a good time. Where I guess I'll tell you guys some stories about my personal injuries. Um, just stuff like broken bones, stitches, and yeah, whatever have you. So let's start off with. Well, I guess everything really had to do with my hands, except for really one. And the one is an elbow injury. I don't know what it's called. Elbow injury. I have a. You can. I doubt you're gonna be able to see it, but I have a teeny scar. It's faded up. It's like a scar, like right there, or so. You can't really tell, but that's a scar that I got from my friend Sean when we were mere children. By the way, my hair's black. It was black before, but it's much more black now. I've redone it. So there's that. But back to the story. What a detour. Um, my friend Sean and my brother Henry and I, we were just really children. We were living in our old house. This was like well over, I don't know, maybe 18 years ago. I was probably about 4 years old. And we were living in my old house, on a farmhouse. And we were jumping up and down on a couch. And this couch was about a four-seater. It was a big-ass green couch. And it had retractable leg rests, or I don't know what they call it, but the legs come out, you pull the crank and the legs come out. Didn't really lean back, it was too old for that. Well, my friend Sean decides, hey, let's push Chris off the couch mid-jump. I'm 4 years old, I'll go down like a fucking sack of potatoes. So I fell off the couch via his push. Sorry, via, I said that wrong and now I'm ashamed. It's via his push. And my elbow comes crashing down right on the corner of the metal and cuts open my elbow. I end up getting, what was it, maybe 4 or 5 staples. And people get stitches. I don't do staples much anymore. But staples are essentially the same thing, but they literally fucking staple into your skin. And let's go into timeline here. So not too long later, I was maybe, 6 or 7, and we were still in that same house, but we were outside this time, my brother Henry and I, and a few of Henry's friends. I don't know what the event was, but he had a bunch of friends over, and you guys know those black pickup truck covers? They're not necessarily always black, but they're just like big, hard shell plastic covers, sometimes little windows on the side, just to cover the bed of your truck. Well, there was one of those flipped upside down, so it was like a slide, right? So they had leaned out against a pile of wood or a tree or a rock or some shit, and we were sliding down it. Oh, I should probably mention that there was an unfinished go-kart in the front lawn where we were sliding, and it was literally just like a frame, just beams of a go-kart, and it was just an empty shell, okay? So they slide down. We were sliding, taking turns. Hey, somebody has an idea. Hey, let's stack on top of each other and slide down. Wait! Even better, let's put Chris on top. Okay. So we slide down with me on the very top and probably have about 4 or 5 bodies underneath me. I don't know how the hell we managed to do that. It was a fucking cacophony of shit. And I fell off the top. Bam! My elbow, that was the first story. Silly me. My wrist comes down, crashing onto the beam of the go-kart, shattering the bone. Not that intense. It just broke my wrist. And for the longest time, though, I did think it was my right wrist. I totally forgot growing up that happened because if you can hear that, my right wrist cracks every time I twist it. I don't know why. I thought it was because I broke it. Turns out it was my left arm, my left wrist I broke, and I just kind of forgot that information until I saw a picture of the cast on my left arm as a child. It was green and cool. Not many people signed it. Rip me. And then I guess next story. I think I was in 5th grade, and I remember I stayed home from school because I wasn't feeling well, but later on throughout the day I started to feel a little bit better, so I went outside to help my dad build a porch. Actually, this room used to be a porch, and the entrance was against that wall right there, and there was like a little deck we were building to access that entrance a little bit easier, right? And, lucky for me, I looked over and saw my recording time was only about 2 minutes left. I thought, that's bizarre, because usually it's about 20. Where the fuck was I? 5th grade. And I stayed home from school, blah, 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 helped my dad building the porch. We had huge beams of wood, like, imagine 2x4 times 7. And they were big beams of wood, big support beams, and they were leaned up against a tree because we were building the legs for the deck that was going there to lead to the entrance of the porch. All of a sudden, big gust of wind. It had been slightly windy all day, but this one was just relentlessly big. We had a rabbit cage at the time, right? It has a little door on top. It's a big wooden cage, and you open it up the top, you know, it just kind of like swivels open like that. I put my hand on the cage at the moment of the wind to go lift it open to check on our rabbit, Smokey, who I miss very dearly. My hand was on the cage, big gust of wind. I'm like, ooh, that's cold. Whatever, it's actually pretty nice. It was like spring. And fucking a big support beam came down onto my fingers, crushing them, and just like fell right on my hand and bounced off. I was like, ah, and I fucking died, right? And then I got brought back to life by means of black magic. But in real life, my index finger was broken. It was actually broken to the point where the bone a little bit was sticking up like that, and these two fingers and part of this finger, part of my ring finger, had no skin. It was just flesh, because it hit and dragged across and just like rolled on down my fingers and ripped all the skin off. And actually, I'm going to try to get some light here so you can see. You might be able to... you can barely see it, but like... Oops, sorry. Right there in the middle of my finger, right? There's a little scar. That line right there. That's a scar, because that's where it split the most and where the bone kind of snapped upward, which like ripped the skin some more. And so yeah, I had a finger splint, completely destroyed my finger, but it actually, in the ice cold, I tried to bend it, it hurts still, like that part of my bone right in the middle digit hurts, and it like, I can't, for some reason I can't, like, I can bend it as much, but it has more bending resistance to it now as an adult. I guess the last thing is this finger. Fingers, man, they don't like me. Fucking, god damn it. So I keep them in my pockets all the time. So this finger, right, this actually happened a couple of years ago, and if you watch like all of my videos, you will remember I did an airsoft sniper shooting test out in the woods, and at the time I had a band-aid on my finger, which I then rested the gun on, and it hurt like mad crazy. That's because I sliced my finger off with a sword. Well, not entirely off, mind you. It was sliced pretty fucking good with a sword. Yeah, I've mentioned it before actually. I've mentioned it a few times just throughout like collection videos and stuff when I see the white katana and I say that's the one I chopped my finger off with or whatever. Yeah, it's because I did. I wanted to be a cool, stupid, arrogant asshole when we were playing airsoft with my friends, right? And so I have my vest, I have my airsoft vest on. I got my gun hanging down. I'm all decked out, and I think there's some like straps in the back that make it perfect for me to slide the katana in its sheath and have it on my back, so I have a white blade sticking over my shoulder and fucking pull it out mid-game. And so I had it, and I was gonna put it in the back of that, but I had it on my side, just like through my belt loop, right? And I was just like, I was pulling the blade out, we were waiting. We were just kind of standing around waiting and getting ready to go. I was pulling out the blade from the sheath, like 7 inches, and just letting it slide down. And I readjusted myself after doing that like 10 times. We were fucking bored, right? And I pulled it out, but this time I pulled out really fast, because I was like, hey Jake, man, and I jerked it out really fast to scare him. Then I'm like, huh, my hand's wet. I look down, and I go like this, and just from like right here, I like literally on the line of my finger where the top knuckle is, just open like that. And I'm like, that's my bone. And I look up and I'm like, hey, I just sliced my finger open. And they're all like, what? And I'm like that, and my just gushing blood. And they're like, holy shit. And a friend, Harley, his dad, runs inside, gets a bunch of paper towels, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna pass out now. So I just like started getting wobbly, because it was like, what the fuck just happened? My finger, it didn't even hurt, like my finger was numb, but it's just the fact that I went like this, and I could feel my skin separate, and I could feel the flesh breathing in the cold air, right? And just like gently rubbing against the bone. And so he comes outside, and I sit down, I'm like lightheaded, and I'm like, fuck. I'm 30 minutes away from my house. The hospital is 40 minutes from my house. I have to drive myself an hour and a half to the hospital with the half a finger. Great! This day is awesome! So we wrap it up in a paper towel, and drive myself to the hospital. Actually, I drive home, and I was like, I called my mom first. I'm like, hey mom, I'm gonna drive home. I just want you to drive me to the hospital because I don't want to deal with this. So I had her drive me, and I got like 6 stitches in my finger to hold it together. And actually, let's see if I can get the quality good enough on this. I'll try. Now you see how my finger right here, right? Focus camera. How it's just like a perfect line. That's how it should be. That's where the knuckle is. This is the finger I broke, alright? And right there, I'm looking at my screen. And then you look at this finger, if you can get the light right. Look at this finger and you see how it's 2 lines, because right down the middle is where I sliced it. See 2 lines right there? And then 1 line. 2 lines. Sliced my finger like right in half, dude. So, those are all my personal injuries so far. Hopefully I don't get many more. I really don't want to break another bone, because it's just an inconvenience. Yeah. So, yeah, let me know what your guys' personal injuries are in the description below. If you want, tell me a story. I'd love to read you guys' long comments and see what's up with you guys. So, let me get that off my fucking face. Thanks, guys, for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and check out more videos that have to do with stories and stuff in the description below. Probably in the topics playlist I'll put down there. See you guys in the next video. Later. Bye.